Welcome, everyone, to episode 9 of Behind the Boots podcast. I'm John.
I am Bobby.
Hello, Bobby.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm great.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was an awkward moment where we asked each other the same question at the same time.
Well, I mean, I feel like as we start an episode, there's only so limited things to ask, and it's like, how are you?
How the fuck are you?
Yeah. Fucking fantastic.
Fucking
you?
great.
Yeah. I feel like we just recorded.
I feel like we did too, and it's funny because most of the time when we're done recording an episode, it feels so long in between recordings. But today it feels like we just recorded the last episode.
The other thing is when we're done recording is I feel like it's like I just let it all out, and it's like
talking about the pee.
Yeah, because I do usually pee right after we record because I've been drinking when we record. But we're back. Episode 9.
We are back
with our podcast, which is the podcast for you.
Yep.
It's Behind the Boots.
And if you haven't yet, shame on you. But follow us on Instagram and Twitter at BT Boots Podcast. Boom, right there. And like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Wilco Media. That's where you'll find us every Thursday at noon.
Brought to you by our great producer, Big Dick Nick, who's dropping those pods every Thursday, like John said, at noon live. First premiere.
And he's also doing the podcast.
Yes. Boom. As we like to do, we drink on this podcast, not because we're alcoholics, but because we're trying to get sponsors. So
it's probably a little bit of both.
A little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, a little shake, rattle, and roll. So tonight's...
So fast.
Tonight's is actually a beer I'm really enjoying.
Yeah.
It's called the Citrus Got Real Tart Ale from Springdale. Springdale.
Is that German?
Yeah. Das ist a Springdale,
ja? Springdale, okay.
Das ist das Dänische. Springdale Beer Company out of Framingham, Massachusetts.
Local place.
And actually, I was reading about them. They're some of the same people that do Jack's Abbey stuff.
Oh, it's the same place?
It's not the same place. It's some of the people that were associated with Jack's Abbey, and they also.
I love Jack's Abbey.
They do tart stuff, and which is what I like. I like a tart ale. I like a sour.
I like a sour at actually pretty much any time of the year. I'll take a sour.
Good. Yeah, they're good. This one is a tart ale, so it's not. It's not exactly a full sour, I guess, but it's got a little orange and grapefruit, and to be honest with you, it's good.
Yeah.
First taste, like a sweet tart.
I'm glad you're being honest about it.
100% honest. I'm not gonna lie. I like it.
I'm glad you're not
normally
lying.
I just power through shit that I don't like, but this one I like, and I will be drinking both of these probably while we're filming.
Well, you'll definitely be peeing afterwards then.
Well, definitely. That release. I gotta have that release. But why don't we just get right into this?
I'd prefer if we did.
Okay. You know the premise. You've watched the episodes before this. You've listened to them on all the hottest podcast places, whether it's your Spotify, your Apple, your YouTube, or all the other little things. Mm-hmm. So you know what we're doing, right? And we're talking about what actually happens behind the boots in the military.
Yes.
So, John.
Yes.
As a service member who deployed.
Yes.
What are some things that you, the service member deployed, can look forward to?
Hot chow.
Okay. So we know that. We've talked about chow is essential in everything.
Huge.
And everything runs on what time's lunch, what time's breakfast.
The biggest thing I'd look forward to, care packages.
Care packages, mail, right?
Yeah.
So we do our segment at the end called Mail Call. Yeah. We have another one I want to do called Special Delivery. Ooh. Okay. And Special Delivery this week's is the worst care packages ever received. Okay. So I'm on the I have to concur with you that one of the most things I look forward to was chow. I'm a big chow guy, as it shows. I'm thick.
Because chow is a constant.
Yes, chow is. If I just make it to chow, I'm good.
Yeah.
Right? If I can just get to chow, I'm good. But mail was few and far between. It wasn't every day. Mm-hmm. And sometimes you'd get like a letter or a magazine, and sometimes you'd get like a pile of boxes.
Yeah.
Depending on who in your family really loved you.
It's almost like the Postal Service was holding the boxes, opening them to see what was good, and then they're like, nothing's
Or they're waiting
really
for the
worth it.
Absolute hottest day, so everything fucking melts.
Everything melts, yeah.
So I...
Shout out to the Postal Service.
Yeah, we love you. What's funny is it's like, I've actually mailed stuff to friends that are deployed, and when you go on and mail things, they're like, well, once it hits the military postal service, we can't confirm delivery dates. We can't do anything. It hits this black hole that's in Germany somewhere, and then in California going west. But it's like once it hits that spot, we don't even know if it exists anymore. Like it's.
In fairness, neither do they. They don't know either.
So I kind of I Googled a little bit, and I didn't want to put this out to the masses like I normally do and ask, but I just because the internet provided for me.
And you know, when you post something on social media like that, when you ask the worst care packages you got, people are going to respond. And the people who sent them the care packages that were bad are going to see it.
I was not throwing people under the bus.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you a question before I get into some of the worst ones. What do you consider to be a good care package?
To me, a good care package is like what you need, like snacks.
Okay.
Snacky poos.
Vodka.
Yep. Gatorade, case of Gatorade, a couple of them taken out, vodka in the Gatorade bottles. That never happens.
Little food coloring in there.
Yeah, that never happens.
Back in. Yeah.
Shit, you need like foot powder's a huge one, or like Gold Bond.
Ooh.
Shout out Gold Bond.
Back before it gave you cancer.
I'll tell you what, you got my balls to Iraq. I'll tell you that right now, Gold Bond. Like socks. Yeah. Shit. Honestly, like shit you would go to like a Walmart for today.
I survived off of knee-high white athletic socks.
Dude, for real, yeah. Yeah.
My first sergeant used to yell at me because I'm not an approved color, Sergeant Colleton. Be like, well, it was free. If it's free, it's for me.
Approved price for me.
So you can see the trend that we're going at here with like, what's a good...
It's honestly just basic necessities.
Yeah, basic necessities, but not an overwhelming amount. So
right.
Overwhelming amount may be something that we're trending towards here, and what's the worst case package scenario?
Sometimes too much is too much.
Yeah. So I'm going to start off. It gets a little dark first, but then it kind of filters out.
I like to go into a dark place every now and again.
Some of that, yeah. So this individual, I got these off of our friends over at Reddit who have great questions, great answers, solid content,
yes,
right?
For sure.
For the aspiring military podcaster. I came back from an op that involved some casualties, and I had a box on my rack. Right, so he's got a care package after a really tough day on his bed. Right?
Yeah, shout out to whoever brought the box to him.
Yeah, good for him. Right, we had a few minutes to refit and refuel. I took the box. We pushed back out to stand in awesome Overwatch over a burning tank. My anticipation grew. So that's other shit the military does is like, yo, that tank's on fire. We can't just leave it, so you're going to sit and watch it.
So just let us know when it's not on fire anymore.
Yeah, that's 100% shit they do. So I knew the box was from my father. We didn't have a good relationship and barely spoke. I was hoping that he would come through, change my shitty night with a home run care package.
That's where you fucked up. Yeah. You're letting yourself down on that one.
I opened the box. There were soy sauce packets covering the top layer. The little ones you find at Chinese food restaurant. The labels are cut from a machine, and the cuts never match up to what the label says.
That's true.
So he does some pretty racial words here that I'm not going to use. Yeah, we'll go past that. Yeah. So he uses the as he says the ching chong words, doing at diagonals and sideways.
I thought it was going to be way worse than that.
I know, but still. Sometimes the packets weren't even filled with the soy sauce. Poor sealing techniques. Just empty. I dug through the top layer to find out that these little mongoloid packets were protecting. More packets. I swished my hand through the box of soy sauce packets. I couldn't find anything. No note, no pictures, not even a fun-sized Baby Ruth. Just soy sauce.
What the fuck?
I don't even like soy sauce.
I can tell you what that means. That's a metaphor. Your father never liked you.
Yeah, or your father was wicked salty and just threw in the soy sauce.
Either way.
So that I would definitely
that
would constitute to me a shitty care package, possibly a shitty father, shitty childhood.
What do you mean possibly?
And first of all, where does one get that many fucking packages of soy sauce?
Maybe he loves Chinese food. Maybe he works at a Chinese restaurant.
Okay. All right. Well, fair enough. The next one. This is
maybe he goes to Costco.
Some of these are a little shorter than others, but this one is. I got a box full of calendars of girls of Northwest or Northeast Pennsylvania. If you know anything about the area, it was a rough calendar to look at.
just a bunch of plain Janes.
And the comment was even better. It's like, bro, I feel you. I'm from Carbondale. So that's a shitty care package.
Yeah.
The next one was even better. I got a package of mini Founding Father plastic figurines.
So, who did they say who it was from?
No.
Okay. I feel like that's a grandma gift.
Well, sometimes the care packages, like, we have to break that down too, right? So you get care packages from your family, and then you get care packages from your friends, and you also get care packages that are to, like, random soldier or random airmen that come from, like, you know, the Goodwill groups, which is this next one, right? So some church group sent us care packages with the usual hard candies, magazines, paperback books, but also included plastic children dolls for girls. Said dolls were small, cartoony, and each had a cute little dress. And each package came in either a Dayglow red or green with a drawstring. Before long, the fire support base was festooned with the dolls' heads on spikes or dolls in very suggestive positions. I posted mine with a cig in its little with its puffed little lips and eyes burnt out. These bags were even seen for weeks afterwards, hanging off guys' rucks as they trooped out on missions. You could clearly see them from a mile and a half away. Brigade CO banned them once he witnessed how revealing they were. So
it was a church that sent them, right?
Yes.
I guarantee that's not how Jesus wanted them to be used.
No, I don't think so either. And it just goes to show you, it's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I mean, I can hand these out, but, like, who
do they think they're sending it to? Do they think that, like, that we're just going to go out to the local populace and hand them dolls? Possibly.
I mean, I don't know.
Like winning hearts and minds?
Yeah. So the next one's a little bit longer, too, but it's a good one. It helps me with my my reading skills.
Good.
And then I want to talk about some care packages, and then I'm going to read the last one, which is epic.
Okay.
All right. So
I like the build-up.
Yeah. It was during my second deployment. We had been in an outpost for about 5 months. Trips back to FOB Diamondback were pretty rare, maybe once a month. I was the medic, so my days mostly consisted of morning patrol, sick call, nap, dinner, night patrol, talk radio guard, and then sleep and repeat. The medic is a really weird position in the platoon too. He gets abused, and
he does.
And they're like, Doc, do this. Doc, do this. Doc, do that. Yeah.
Kind of odd because you
need him.
You would think you want to keep that person happy.
Yeah. So one day I get a care package from my family, and I notice it's super heavy. My mother loved to send me cans of SpaghettiOs and bags of Count Chocula.
All right.
I had a shitty week and was super stoked to get some good stuff into my stomach. I opened it up and find 2 things. A couple packs of baby wipes, not bad, and a manila envelope full of pictures. I started skimming through the pictures, and it was my little brother's college graduation. They ordered 5 6-foot Subway subs, one of which was a cold cut trio, my favorite, which it's my go-to at Subway as well. The cold cut trio.
I feel like you shouldn't have a go-to at Subway.
I know, but overseas, that was the only sub place on base. It was like my, not on like deploy, but like living overseas.
Yep.
Subways. On it was a sign that said, "For Potato Muncher." A sweet gesture. I'm assuming that's his nickname.
Oh, what a dick move.
Yeah. No one at the party was allowed to have it.
Neither was he, you assholes.
No, my dad wrote in a letter, they gave it to the dog, a Maltese poodle mix, at the end of the day.
What?
By far, the biggest dick tease of the deployment. Totally crushed my heart.
I would, when I got home from deployment, I would change my name. I'd cut off all ties to that family. What a fucking dick move. You think, what are you trying to accomplish? You think that you're being nice to this? You think that person thinks it's cool that they're
not getting that?
They're not allowed to have that.
You bought it for them, but they're not going to eat it.
Yeah.
And you give it to the dog. And first of all, what kind of sick fuck gives a 6-foot sub to a poodle mix dog?
Yeah.
Like, Yeah, that's fucking asking to kill the dog. Come on now.
Yeah, that dog's either dead or is still shitting right now to this day.
Yeah, and if you do it right, there better be the fucking pepperoncinis on that fucking sub. So that dog is not happy.
Dogs aren't supposed to have that stuff like
exactly.
that. Yeah, you're a terrible human being all around. You're hurting your, I'm assuming son or daughter emotionally, and you're physically hurting your dog.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Hope you're happy.
Yeah. So when it comes to care packages, right, like, did you ever receive anything weird, or did you ever receive anything like you were like, oh, this is good, but like I don't know what to do with it, or?
No, not really, because they, like the ones that were sent from like the churches and the charities and stuff like that, I never really touched.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I knew better.
I usually grab one thing of toothpaste out of it, and then like when I needed it.
Yeah, I never really needed, like my family would send me, like my dad, the worst thing my dad ever sent me was the movie Bruno.
Un-American.
Which I love Sacha Baron Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
But within the first 15 minutes, there's just a dick waving in your face for about a minute and a half to fucking felt like 30 minutes.
Unless it's the Grim Big Weenie, I don't want it.
Yeah. I didn't like that at all. Appreciate the sentiment, Dad. I love you. But 10 years later, here it is.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
Letting it out. Didn't like it.
Yeah. I'm sure you didn't know there was a dick that was going to wave in my face for that long. And if you did, I would hope that you wouldn't have bought it for me. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
Interesting.
That's probably one of the reasons why I have trust issues.
Fact. Some of the things I researched, or I picked up in my research for the worst, what I like to call cookie dust. Home-baked cookies that didn't travel very well.
Yeah.
And they turn into the cookie dust.
I had that once.
With chunks of chocolate chips in there, and it's like space dust, but it used to be 36 chocolate chip cookies in a giant Ziploc bag of dust, because they dry out and then they crumble, and they continue to crumble, and then they melt, and then they get to you, and it's a block. The sentiment is great. I really do appreciate people that sent me stuff.
Yeah. Just be better at it.
Yeah. The worst and best care package I would say I ever got was the same care package. It was the worst because it had zero practical value.
Okay.
But it was the best because it was the most unique. So on my last deployment to Afghanistan, I received a box from my buddy, and we'll call him Dr. Sergio. And inside this box...
Couldn't you just said like Jake?
Nope.
Or Jeff?
Dr. Sergio.
Okay.
You need to understand that he's a plastic surgeon.
Okay.
So in this box was
to show respect first.
A few candy bars, a Captain America posable action figure, and a 350cc breast implant.
I can see why it's the best.
Yeah. So that was a talking point for sure.
Yeah.
And when I rotated back home, I left that on the desk of the talk that I was working in, which is random.
Did he just send it because he could?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Not a lot of people just have
breast implants
laying around.
Yeah,
that you can
it's a stress reliever. You know, it's like a stress ball.
That's true. You just squeeze the titty.
One of my really good buddies, good guy, great guy, forward thinker. You know, I mean, that's probably like what, $1,000, couple grand lying around, like pretty good, pretty expensive. But yeah, that was the worst and best I ever received. It was most unique. That
is pretty unique.
I will say that this last one, I have done things similar, and I would like to encourage these things to our listeners, especially if you have friends, buddies, roommates, siblings, family that are deployed or going to be deployed in the future. Take note of this, okay? So this individual says, not received but sent. Empty beer cans, empty cans of chewing tobacco, cigarette butts, Playboy with all the nudes ripped out, a 9x5 card that read, go fuck yourself. Also, I sent an additional care package with normal stuff in it. Sent to a buddy deployed who I previously deployed with.
That's amazing.
When that buddy could open that up and be like,
that's amazing.
You son of a bitch.
Yep.
I would take it one step further and take a picture of yourself enjoying those items,
Oh,
then sending it.
I thought you were gonna say like enjoying his wife.
Oh no!
Yeah.
Wow,
That's like 4 steps further.
We talked about going dark.
Yeah.
You went fucking like dark hole, like black
I'm
matter.
sorry, man. I can't help when my mind goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. But
Yeah. I was gonna say 1 step further.
I have to say, I do appreciate every care package I was ever sent.
Of course, yeah.
I appreciate everyone that took the time. And this segment is not going away because while researching for this one, I stumbled upon the worst letters ever received.
Oh.
And some of those,
Some of the ones that the kids send,
those are the ones I'm talking about.
some of these kids are going places.
Some of these were framed
It's probably prison.
and then kept
but it's
up
places.
and kept. Both good and bad. So look forward to some more special delivery in the future.
That was very good. And I feel like I say this a lot, but like a lot of these things we talk about, it does drum up so many
Yes.
memories that you feel like are gone,
But they're there.
but they're always there.
I believe that's called regressed.
I don't know what that
Repressed?
means. Repressed, yeah. Yeah. That's what my therapist says a lot for some reason.
No.
Way back in episode 1, if you remember, we played a little game.
So far
It's
away.
got a super clever name
Mhm.
called Real or Fake.
Is this about the breast implants?
No,
Again, we're just on the same wavelength. You
but it could be. But it could be. I do ask myself a lot that question sometimes. But anyways, moving on. So I'm gonna read you some article titles,
Okay.
and you're gonna have to tell me if they're real or fake. And then after you tell me that, after you are probably right because you're fucking right every time before, I'll just read a little bit of the article.
Okay.
First headline: Taliban wonders who will inadvertently fund operations after U.S. leaves.
Ooh. Well, the satire in me says that this is fake. However, we do fund a lot of their shit with our leftovers. So I'm going to go with fake on this one.
You're right. That is fake. I thought that was gonna get you because it feels like something that a news
Would say. Okay.
A news, is that how you say it? A news
Yeah, it's like
network.
a noose.
Yeah, would say. A news, yeah, would say. But it is fake. So the article says Taliban officials say they are uncertain about who will unwittingly fund their operations in the wake of President Joe Biden's decision to pull all U.S. troops from Afghanistan. The U.S. has either advertently or inadvertently provided the majority of our funding since we went public back in the 90s, said Taliban spokesperson Abdullah Gohar. Without the steady cash flow coming in from Department of Defense, we'll have to dupe some other willfully ignorant superpower into dumping into capital. It isn't just the financial support that Taliban appreciated, says Gohar, but the intangible benefits of having a foreign military occupy the lands of a fiercely independent tribal people for 20 years. It goes on to say the pinch won't only be felt on the national level. Local Taliban leaders are also worried about where their paychecks will come from once the U.S. leaves. My paycheck and hundreds of other paychecks I skim off the top of have been coming from some shadowy, quasi-military American-funded organization since at least 2008, says the Taliban cell leader and drug lord, who also serves as district chief of police. The logistical changes alone will throw my whole opium supply chain into chaos.
Again, this is.
It actually
does sound real.
When I read it, it sounds like something that is not fake.
So even though I'm assuming this comes from the Duffel blog,
yes.
okay, and is satirical in nature,
Yes.
this is probably 100% true because we do
Oh, we do this for sure.
feed all of those things
Yeah.
and all of their revenue sources, which is sad. However,
Yeah.
it's time to fucking leave that place. Let them have it.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, let them have it. I would like to open up a tourist destination there, like a safari.
A safari?
Yeah.
What would be in the safari?
We'll not talk about that for this
Okay.
podcast.
All right. Moving right along to the next one then.
Hit it.
Okay. Drunk soldier defects to North Korea.
Ooh. This is true.
That is true.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right. So this is way back in 1965. A U.S. Army Sergeant Charles Robert Jenkins crossed the heavily mined Korean demilitarized zone 10 beers deep and defected to North Korea. According to Business Insider, Jenkins decided to get drunk and then defect because his unit was being ordered to lead increasingly provocative patrols. And he heard they might be heading to Vietnam. His time in North Korea involved 24-hour surveillance, making it more akin to imprisonment than defection. So Jenkins spent the next 40 years learning the works of Kim Il-sung by heart, teaching English to presumed spies in training and acting in movies as the villain. They made him act in North Korea. Needless to say, Jenkins quickly regretted his decision.
Yeah. Good. What an idiot.
He wasn't free till 2004.
Listen, kids.
So I guess the moral of the story is keep the beers to single digits.
Yeah. And don't go to North Korea.
Yeah.
That's a bad place.
Listen, as fun as Dennis Rodman makes it look, it's probably not that fun.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at the tens of our listeners and the maps of where they're at, it ain't North Korea, right?
Not one of them.
Because they
North
can't
Korea.
listen to this there.
They're not
And
allowed.
if you can't listen to Behind the Boots podcast, we don't want you.
Sounds dumb to me.
We don't want you as a country. Yeah, why would you? Oh, all I can think of is like Will Ferrell being like, "What an idiot! More for the rest of us. Good, let him go." But North Korea, that would
Stupid.
suck.
So a British soldier stole an armored vehicle, crashed it, then stole another.
100% true.
That is absolutely true. So this is back in 2009. 18-year-old British soldier went for a drunken joyride, stealing not one, but two armored vehicles before running a military police patrol off the road. So this was in Germany that he did that. So
Did you say why?
So German authorities said that the unnamed soldier was highly intoxicated when he stole, which seems to be a running theme, about pretty much all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
So when he stole an armored command car, swerved through the entrance at a barracks in northwest Germany before careening off the road minutes later, reports the Daily Mail. Astonishingly, the soldier crept back on base, which he was now on high alert, and stole another armored vehicle, which was a tracked ambulance, and sped off again. And then, believe it or not, a spokesperson with the British Army said stealing a vehicle is a serious offense. You believe it?
I don't. That's fake.
It's the most unbelievable part.
So I've heard this happen multiple times before. It's happened in the United States. There's always these things happen, right? And it happens.
I know you're not, but it just sounds like you're trying to normalize it. Like,
Well, I have a very valid reason why it happens, and I think, again, we don't like to go political. We don't like to, we don't like to bring it down in this podcast, but we've come to truths on here. And if we can change these things from happening, I think they need to listen to us, and I think they are, and they will change these things. But the bottom line is it comes down to one simple thing. You don't need a fucking key to start military vehicles.
That's very true.
Any of them.
No, not even one.
So that's probably a problem. And if you can get into any vehicle and it's not locked, and by locked, I mean literally a wire cable through the fucking steering wheel with a master lock, you can start it. And you can still even start it. You just can't turn in the steering wheel.
Yeah, you can just
Humvees.
go straight.
Just go straight.
Yeah.
Or like a 12-degree radius one way.
Maybe
and
a 6-degree, yeah.
But
depending on the tightness of the chain.
So that might be a problem. I think we nailed it right there. The fact that you make it so you can start them relatively easy, and literally in a Humvee, I think it says start. The switch is like start and run, right?
It says wait, I think.
Blue glow lights, right?
So
because it's a diesel.
Yep.
But it's
so
like start
you put it
and
to
run.
start,
and
it has the wait light, and then once the wait light goes out, you put it to run.
Yeah.
And I just told everyone how to steal a military vehicle. You're welcome.
Yeah, we're not promoting this, but I'm just saying
No.
it's really fucking easy to.
Don't you fucking drop my name, too, if you get caught.
Yeah. Yeah, see if the cop wants a sticker.
We'll give him 10 stickers.
Yeah, if you get a sticker. But, and again, like, even on, like tracked vehicles, right? Like, I'm assuming a Bradley has, like, sort of a steering wheel, but, like, tanks and whatnot, I think they have, like yokes and, like a bulldozer, like, kind of like...
But they usually have... like a little, what the fuck is it called? Like a little fucking piece of metal that you can hook a lock to.
Yeah.
That you can hook the...
Yeah, but still, okay, so you have a master lock, a pair of bolt cutters. You're fucking good, right?
Exactly, yes.
So this solves the problem right now. Boom, bada bing, go, okay? Like, you have a way that you can't just easily start every fucking military vehicle out there.
It's, we started this to have a good time, but we're really solving issues of the world.
Problems. We're not even wearing short shorts, and we're solving problems.
I know, we're not even wearing our Magnum PI shorts.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pentagon is disappointed with the results of his Just a Little Prick vaccine campaign.
Well, I mean, I want to say this is true, but I'm gonna have to say this one's fake.
This is very fake. Top Pentagon officials are disappointed in the results of their $10 million It's Just a Little Prick awareness campaign to encourage military personnel to take the COVID-19 vaccine. So I get it. Just a little prick can mean more than one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody wants to follow a campaign that says, I have a small dick.
Listen, nobody that works for the big green weenie wants to fucking have some sort of...
Be emasculated by that type of slogan.
Yeah,
I get it.
I mean, why don't they just say what they really mean? You can't go to the fucking chow hall if you don't get the shot. There you go. You can't eat if you don't get the shot.
I mean, is that what it's going to come down to?
Pretty much.
We'll get into the last one here. Iranian military holds mandatory extremism stand-up.
I think they need to do that, but I'm going to say this is fake.
That is fake. In response to increasingly pedestrian incidents involving off-duty service members, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has mandated a military-wide stand-up to root out weak-ass posers who lack the extreme ideologies of Iran's total radical warfighters.
Good.
I just picked that one because I like the fact that I just like the image of a radical Islamic person calling someone a weak-ass poser.
Yeah. I have to say that, I mean, as much as made up as that is, I mean, I really do feel like they're slacking. They need to step up their game.
Yeah.
We're showing them that we are way better than them.
Yeah.
And step it up. Come on. Get your game up.
I mean, I guess that's easy to say now when you're not the one that has to go fight them.
Well, yeah, I did my time. I did my time. It's somebody else's.
Turned our military into a bunch of bitches, man. Step that shit up.
Yeah, my time's over. So yeah, everyone else can just. No, fuck that. But
that was real or fake?
That was real.
You were really right.
Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like it's tough because some of these are so close to.
I know.
Oh man. They say like satire like really mimics real life, and
it does.
It's
yeah.
I want to know how the Duffel blog comes up with their articles. Like,
they actually hire people to do it, like independent, I guess, contractors is what you call them.
Fucking mercenaries.
Yeah, so you basically get paid based off of how much you write.
Yeah,
is what they do, I believe.
Because I mean, like I'm a big fan of like South Park, and the breakdown they did of how they make an episode, like they show like the 5 days or 6 days to 6 days to make it, right? 6 days to air. And the breakdown of how they do that in that amount of time, and like I would love to see that for like the Duffel blog, like a bunch of dudes
just brainstorming,
and be like, okay, Iran. Like, what can we say,
about Iran?
About Iran? And then they're like, making it, and they're like, okay, we got gold here. There was recently a Duffel blog comment about the pulling out of Afghanistan that said, Sergeant Major of the Army is not letting anyone pull out of Afghanistan until we do until all brass is accounted for.
I saw that one. Yeah.
And then he retweeted it himself and said, I need 5 volunteers. And it's like, that's how accurate some of their satire and their comedy is. It's like, okay, that makes sense. Like, let's do that. We're not leaving until we do a full brass and ammo check. Like, all brass is
just the whole police call.
Yeah, let's go. Everybody line up.
Sweep it up.
Get your brass. Get your brass. Yeah, that's pretty funny. The Sergeant Major of the Army is like, yeah, it's about true. All right, let's do that. That's a good idea.
I'm glad that he could at least joke about it.
Yes. Yeah. He's seems like a good dude.
Yeah.
Real go getter.
Real go getter. He calls him. Yeah. He's
real high speed.
Yeah. He's pretty driven.
So, special delivery. We talked about things you anticipate while you're deployed, right?
Yeah.
First thing you said was chow.
Yeah.
Okay. Chow is probably. And we've mentioned it before in the podcast, is like that's the most. I said not even like the most common thing. It's the thing in the military that you can count on the most.
It's a constant.
Yes,
it's one of the very few constants.
There's always chow, whether it's from a fucking DFAC or a chow hall, or whether it's from a metal can with a heater underneath it, or that's from a little brown bag, right? Or it's you buying a couple chickens from the locals.
As long as you can put it in or around your mouth. We're excited about it.
Okay. Yep. We're not talking about rogue privates.
Oh.
We're talking about what's cooking.
I read that wrong.
So.
Okay. I got a timeout. I got to piss. I'm sorry. If I can put up the what's cooking thing, I got to piss so bad. I apologize, everyone. Okay.
Yep.
We are good.
Yeah. All right. So, we've talked in the past about the meal ready to eat, right? The MRE. We broke down, I think episode 2-ish.
2 times actually.
Well, yeah, we broke down one about
one
international and one national. But what we didn't get into was how one eats those MREs. Okay. You can't just pull out the individual ingredients of those MREs and just start eating, right?
I disagree.
Like what?
I disagree.
You think you can? You just eat one at a time?
Yeah. For the most part, I would just.
You never created meals with your MREs.
I mean, if I had time.
Okay.
I suppose.
Okay. So would you? Because to me, like, you can't just eat the beefsteak.
I'm not fucking Gordon Ramsay out in the field, you know.
Well, some people are.
That's true. They are.
And that's what I want to talk about.
Not this guy.
Is I want to talk about the concoctions. The recipes.
Emphasis on the cock.
The tasty morsels that individuals would make. So I have a list of. I'm just going to ignore what he said. Like he's digging that Springdale Tart Ale.
Yep, it's tasty.
It is. I enjoy it.
Yep.
So there's a list of concoctions from our friends over at mreinfo.com.
Okay.
The who's who in the MRE world.
Oh.
If you will. Now, do you know of any recipes for MRE treats? Or
the biggest one I know is the Ranger pudding.
Okay, which is kind of like it's the go-to. Everyone knows it.
It's so good, though.
It is good.
So good.
What is your recipe for Ranger pudding?
For me, a little bit of water.
Okay.
Peanut butter.
Ooh, you're a peanut butter guy.
I was a peanut butter guy. Believe it or not, sometimes if there was pretzels, I'd put it in it, and sometimes I'd crumble up some cracker, put it in there. But
the key for the Ranger pudding is the base layer, which is the cocoa powder.
That's important.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I left that out, but I felt like that was kind of
our one listener out there that we're still looking for names for you guys.
That's true.
I was told perhaps the boots, the booties, the fuck sticks, but we're still looking for a name for you. We haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
But for you out there,
keep sending them in, and we'll figure it out.
Ranger pudding basis needs a cocoa powder, right?
Yeah.
But what John mentioned, some of the things that like the pretzels and the peanut butter, these don't all come in the same meal.
Mm-mm.
So you
gotta haggle.
You have to haggle, barter, if you will, trade, or save, and be like, I might get this meal later. I'm going to hold on to this so I can enjoy it. Discipline. It is discipline. Ranger pudding's the go-to. Everyone knows that. It's a standby, right? You also need... So I didn't use the peanut butter, but I would use the creamer from my coffee package.
Okay. Yep.
I would also put the coffee in there sometimes, so it was like a mocha.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't think about that, did you?
No.
Yeah.
And I know it's basically all sugar anyways, but I'd still put the sugar packet in sometimes, too.
Sometimes, just to get a little... I usually just eat the sugar packet.
Yeah.
But the coffee was a little nice little... And I usually...
Fucking, you go hard.
What I would do is I would make the Ranger pudding, right? And then put the coffee on top. So you had like a crunch. It was like a...
Oh, snap.
Yeah.
The dehydrated coffee grounds? Yeah.
Right on top. Boom.
I would just dip those. Just straight up dip.
Yeah.
Yep.
A lot of people did that. We've had that earlier in some of our topics.
Yep.
But these are just some interesting recipes that I
would love to hear them.
Found. And
because I actually suggested to Christina a date night where it's MREs.
Oh, I told my whole family they're going to be eating MREs.
Yeah.
And they're not going to choose which one. I'm going to open the case, either case A or case B, and I'm going to hand them out.
The funny thing about her is she's a vegetarian, so she doesn't really get to choose a lot. You know, there's not a lot.
There's
of
a lot
options.
more now. It depends on when you get it. If you were to get like let's say a 1980 case, as we learned, there were no vegetarian options.
You'll eat meat and you'll like it.
Yeah. So going through some of these, you have to realize that, that sounds like a good actual meal, right? Like, yeah. But the problem is that not all these ingredients are available in all the packages. So you have to, it takes work to do this. It's kind of like going, like a good chef going to like the market and like, not that tomato. Nope. Nope. Not that one yet. Yes. And you have to find it and you have to haggle for it. So, number one, the Potluck Pie. Okay. And if you remember back to the previous episodes where we talked about the number one rated MRE out of all,
the beef stew. Yeah.
So a lot of these have beef stew as their base layer.
Wow. So
1 pouch of beef stew, half a packet of cheese spread, and this is good because he's this is one individual. He's measured it out specifically. Half a packet of cheese spread, 4 dashes of hot sauce, optional.
This guy sounds like a huge douche.
I know he does.
Okay.
and a half a package of crackers, which is good because a half package of crackers is only 1 cracker.
You don't want to dehydrate yourself.
And then you use the other half of that cheese on the other cracker.
Yeah, I guess.
And then you would mix that all together. So I'm assuming what you'd have to do is, I'm sorry. I digress here. He
sounds very specific.
He does, because then it goes into heat the beef stew and cheese spread in heater. Then combine stew, cheese, hot sauce, and top with the cracker crumbles. So that is like a potluck pie. It's almost like
It is.
Now,
I definitely don't want to hang out with that guy.
No. Cheeseburger. I don't even need to break that down because it's fucking simple. It's literally the name of the meal. It's like burger. It comes with 2 wheat snack breads and fucking cheese. There you go.
Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. You're not inventing any of that, buddy. You're just that's what it is.
But to be some of the comments for this were like, yeah, some of these are pretty straightforward, and some of these are like, why bother?
It comes with all the meal, yeah.
So this one is interesting because he gets very specific again. Enchilada soup.
Okay.
1 pouch heated beef enchiladas, 1 packet of cheese spread heated, 4 ounces heated water, so 1/6 of a canteen cup. Now that might be a difficult one because you have to heat that water up. Depending on where you are, it's hard to heat the water. So, and then hot sauce to taste. So cut beef enchiladas in small pieces, add cheese spread, water, hot sauce, mix well. Soup. This one is...
Where do we find the time for this shit? The whole point of MREs is a quick meal when you're in the field. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but that's the point of Joe, is Joe never fucking does anything they're supposed to do.
That's fair.
And they're like, Sergeant, I'm waiting. This is I'm eating. So the loaded baked potato. 1 package of mashed potatoes, which come in my favorite meal.
I love the mashed potatoes.
I did too. It came in the meatloaf with gravy, and it was delicious because you pour the gravy mix on top.
Potatoes, yeah.
1 package cheese and bacon spread, 1 bottle of hot sauce, 1 package of salt, and 1 full cracker crumbled. Seems pretty legit, right?
Yeah,
Some of these things I never thought of.
No.
I was more just like, I put the gravy from the meatloaf.
I was
on the
more
potatoes.
just like open package, put in mouth.
Eat. Yeah. MRE hash, 1 pouch beef patty heated, 1 pouch mashed potatoes heated, hot sauce to taste, 1 packet cheese spread, optional.
To taste, he says.
Yeah, I know, to taste.
Come on.
Serious douche.
Easy, Emerald.
Yeah, fucking field pizza. Come on. All right, no. This one's a little more in depth because there's actual like steps to it. This is the Baghdad Chili. Okay, so ingredients: 1 grilled beefsteak package heated, 1 Western style beans package heated, 1 package crackers, 1 package crushed red pepper. So not all of these came in the same.
Those are 2 like legit meals together.
Well, no, the Western style beans was
the Western style. Okay, I misunderstood. Okay.
So break beefsteak into desired chunks and then add Western style beans. Mix, but do not pour out beefsteak sauce before mixing. Crush crackers and then add them to dish. Complete your creation. Add red pepper and seasoning from accessory packet to taste. Enjoy.
You know what this sounds like? It sounds like a cooking competition where they're giving them MREs and trying to make make a meal out of their stuff.
Like barbecution. That would be. We could do that live show.
Live episode idea.
Yep.
Write that down.
Write that down. Mocha Frosting. So this is similar. 1
Mocha Frost. Oh, that's what it's called.
Yeah.
Okay, I was like, where the fuck are they getting Mocha Frosting from?
1 pouch of MRE cocoa, 1 packet of instant coffee, and water as needed. Okay, so you mix it together.
Yeah.
Ranger pudding, we discussed.
Yep.
Ranger bread pudding was something I never thought of, but would take mixtures of both. So 1 batch of Ranger pudding, see recipe above. Mm-hmm. 1/2 MRE pound cake diced.
Oh.
That's...
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking next level.
I could fuck with that all day.
Next level. Yeah. Next level. So a lot of these were like, there's mousse pudding, there's chocolate icing. This list goes on and on and on.
My mouth is watering from MRE stuff.
Which is disgusting.
Which is something I never thought
Which is disgusting. But I agree. Like, wow, this guy, like, okay, this is a good one, right? Beef and mushrooms with crunchy potatoes. 1 pouch beefsteak with mushroom gravy, heated. 1 pouch potato sticks. Hot sauce to taste. Combine beef and mushrooms with hot sauce, then top with broken up pieces of potato sticks. It's fucking brilliant.
That's great.
It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay, so, I mean, obviously we could go on and on and on because there's hundreds of recipes.
Yeah.
But now I want to ask you, how has this changed your mind about field cuisine? Like, would some of these make you want to take the time to, like, actually go through and be like, you know what?
Like, for us, like an occasion, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because they sound pretty... They all sound really good.
But you're thinking about them in the mindset of when you were eating them.
Right.
So like,
when I'm eating them, it's just to get
if I'm
food
going home
inside
tonight,
my
I'm not
body.
fucking eating beef with mushrooms and crunchy potatoes.
Speak for yourself.
Well, I would, but I get it from a restaurant and actually enjoy it. But I'm not going to yeah. So thinking about these in the field, I'd be like, oh man, like, all right, let's just say
thought of it.
I'm just coming off guard or whatever. I'm like, I'm going to make this.
Yeah.
I'm going to enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm going to go barter for another half of a meal and then spend 45 minutes preparing another meal. I wouldn't have thought of that at all.
No.
I'm like, okay, I opened my MRE and this is what I have. This is what I'm going to put in my body.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But it does kind of open your eyes a little bit to know if you have a little bit of creativity.
A little bit of time?
A little bit of creativity, a little bit of time. You can really have a pretty good experience. I mean, for what it is.
When it comes to dining in the field. Now, something else that blew my mind. There is a published MRE cookbook that you can purchase.
Is there really?
Yes. And I was like, wow, holy fuck, people will get rich doing anything. Well, I probably didn't get rich, but...
He's probably got tens of dollars.
Tens of dollars. But, like, the MRE that breaks down, like... It's a little thing. You looked it up, didn't you?
$10.
But, like... meals, we talking about like food in the military is like is a thing, man. It's like you have to like it's what you look forward to most. It's like always Napoleon said it, army moves on its stomach. Like food is key.
Yep.
So people that take the time to do these things, I do salute you. I'm very impressed with some of these meals that I didn't even think of. Just simply adding this to that would make this.
Yeah, and I'd be more than willing to bet that they shared, if not the meal, then the secrets with their battle buddies, which broadens everyone's horizons and kind of carries on that tradition of fine cuisine in the field, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Well, they say best recipes are passed down from family, right?
Yeah.
Like this is my Nana's Sunday sauce. Like
I'd be willing to bet that anyone who says that is a liar.
Yeah, it's true.
They just nobody. This isn't 1948. No one gets passed down recipes anymore. Yeah, you find it online.
Yeah, or you look it up
online
on the line, or in a Murray cookbook.
Nope, most likely online.
On the line.
Yep,
online.
In a cookbook online.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's whatever. I passed.
Agree to disagree.
Yeah, but it literally says Nana's recipe, so it's not my Nana's. It's just Nana's recipe.
It's just Nana's. Yeah, you never asked who's Nana. That was.
I'm fucking hungry now.
I'm really hungry. You guys want to get some food after this?
Maybe some MREs?
Nope. Just any food would be great.
Absolutely not. Okay.
Any food would be great. So, we have a segment at the end of the podcast where our listeners get to, join in on the fun, kind of go back into time and relive some of the stories they have in a little segment we like to call Mail Call.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is from our friend John Dorman from Litchfield, New Hampshire. Now, if you don't remember John Dorman, he sent us a little email. I think episode 2 or 3. I can't remember. It was a few weeks ago, suggesting we talk more about officer life.
Long-time listener, first-time caller.
Right. So, and since then we have had a couple of officer quarters segments. So, John, thank you for that, and thank you for the story. This one's short, but I like it. Strangest experience while performing staff duty officer, or SDO, checks. While doing after midnight walkthrough, went into one of the barracks. Trueness to the corner and down the halls was a naked trooper walking away from me with a pencil sticking from his butt. I just had an NCO get him and put him to bed. Which made me laugh because John Dorman was an officer, and that is exactly what an officer does. Sees a problem, get an NCO.
Yeah. Sergeant, handle this. But I like the way he handled it, because it was like, okay, I have to address this. I cannot just let this go. First of all, it's a safety hazard. If that guy falls, boom.
It falls backwards.
Problems.
It's
problems. Problems.
At least all over for the pencil.
Yeah. And he's a problem solver. Sees a problem?
Get
an NCO.
The NCO.
And then goes about his duties. So
he said duty.
Yeah, duties. I used to hate doing staff duty.
Staff
and
duty
CQ,
was the worst.
And like all these things because, first of all, my first duty assignment, well, any of them, right? When you're doing staff duty, it means you're the fucking asshole that has to be sober while everyone else is getting shit-faced. If it was a staff duty on a weeknight, that's cool because not a lot's going to happen. You work during the day, you pull staff duty at night, you get the next day off, right? Yep. But if you get the Friday night or the Saturday night staff duty or CQ charge quarters, it is miserable.
Yeah.
And at my first duty assignment at Fort Drum, the old 431 Polar Bears, the way the barracks worked, it was a Y. And the company headquarters and platoon offices were in like the tail of the Y, and then the the barracks themselves were the Y.
Mm-hmm.
And it was first platoon on one side, second platoon on the other, third platoon, and the headquarters platoon, like all the rooms. And the CQ desk was right in the middle and looked down both hallways. So Friday or Saturday nights, if you're pulling staff duty, you're sitting at that desk with your CQ runner, who's a E1 through E4, because you were the sergeant CQ, and you just watch these animals. It's a fucking zoo.
Oh, God.
Perform acts of pure debauchery and idiocy. And you're like, I'm responsible for these people for the next 24 hours. How do I survive this myself?
And it sucks because, like, what do you say? Because when you're not on staff duty,
you're that animal.
That's you.
Yeah. You're that, because I lived in that barracks.
Exactly.
And all the team leaders were E5s, and we lived in that barracks. That was us. Like, and oh my God. But like, and this was prior to 9/11, and there were open bases, so there were no, you could just come on base. Anybody could come on base. So we used to have just girls that would come to the barracks parties, and it was insane. And to be in charge of that, and then on the likewise side of it, if you're staff duty, you're a staff sergeant or an E7 that's now in charge of 4 of these things going on. And then if you're the staff duty officer, you're in charge of 9 or 10 of these, if whatever battalion it is, like whatever brigade it is. And like, just like, it is like, oh man, it's like a babysitter, and these guys are idiots and have money.
Yeah. And sometimes,
pencils get in butts.
Yeah. Sometimes you'll be faced with someone who has something sticking out of an orifice that shouldn't be sticking out of.
Go back to one of our earlier things that we talked about in another episode. Someone sliding through a fucking window on satin sheets. Yeah. Like, these are the things that happen in the barracks.
Weird shit happens.
Yes. Weird things happen in the barracks. Food deliveries and parties where everyone turns on the radio or their CD to the same CD and just blasts it. Yeah. Like, oh man, thinking about some of these events and endeavors, like, wow. Like, I mean, it's like Animal House, right? It's a frat party, but it's people that have access to sharp weapons.
Yeah. Yep.
and disposable income.
Yeah. It's such an odd dynamic because it is like college, but you're getting paid to be there. Yeah.
And one person, I remember, so one time I pulled staff duty, and one of the platoons decided to make a movie. And this was in the late 90s.
Sex movie?
No. Although one guy was wearing body armor with a G-string that had a money sign on the front of it and was a key player in the movie. Yeah. However, this was the time of like the late 90s, so like Sony little cameras were like the big hit.
Oh, those little
handy cams.
Yep.
And so they legit filmed an entire movie throughout my entire night on staff duty, through the halls and in the barracks and on the staff duty desk and the CQ desk and But it's like they just pay you no mind. Like they're like like,
they're just doing their thing.
They don't look at you. They don't make eye contact with you. They're not doing trouble.
Staff duty, you're basically just like a fixture.
Yeah.
There, you know what I mean? Like no one.
If you ever have to raise your voice and be like, let's keep it in control here, boys. Yeah. You're like, okay, roll shit. Like, okay.
Yeah. I have to stop being a dick. Yeah. They're just being themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one, Johnny Dorman. I appreciate it.
Thank you for sending that in, buddy.
Yeah. Wow. That's episode 9.
Episode 9 is put away.
9 times.
Yep. Stuff it in the back pocket.
Mm-hmm. Close the book.
I don't know if you know this, but next week it'll be 10.
Episode X.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yep.
I like it. I can't believe we've already been on 9. That's good.
It's been flying. I was gonna say flowing. That doesn't make any sense.
It's been flowed.
It's not a period.
It's flowed.
It's been flying by.
It has.
But in a good way. I've been having a blast doing this.
Me too.
Thanks guys for listening so far. Tell your friends.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe on YouTube.
And you know what I like? I like after an episode drops on Thursday.
Yeah.
That I'll get a text or a Facebook message or an IM or something that's like, hey, great episode. Awesome, funny, totally agree with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's really good to see. I'm glad you guys are enjoying it. Thanks as always to Big Dick Nick and Wilco Media. We love you guys for everything you do. If you want to write in, you want to write a story, if you have suggestion for segments or anything like that, you can visit the website at wilcomediapro.com/btbpodcast. You can submit all of your shit there. It says write shit here. Just write it there. That's it.
We are not that smart. So if you don't send stuff into us, then we have to look for stuff. Okay? And we want to hear your stories because we want to have your stories remind us of our stories, and then we tell all those stories.
And here's the thing. When we started this, we're going to take it down for a minute here. When we started this, we wanted it to become more of a community, right? Somewhere where, you can go, you can hear some funny shit, you can kind of reminisce about the past, take your mind off all the shit that's going on in the world right now, and just have a good time. And I feel like you guys being able to tell your stories is a big part of that community. People get to hear it, and it resonates with them.
Mm-hmm.
They can relate to it, and it's basically like you're back at the smoke pit shooting the shit with your buddies.
Yep.
And that's kind of the thing we wanted to do. So
that's the premise.
That's what we get when you guys send your stories to us.
So keep sending
them. I hope that made sense because I blacked out halfway through.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, beautiful. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. And couldn't do without you guys. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll see you next week on episode 10.
10.